Hello, it's Mark from Green Trees Caravan store here in Durham, and we are here today to give you a quick run through of the 2021 product. Obviously this year has been a very strange one to say the least. Coming back from lockdown, we've seen an absolute huge demand for our lifestyle, for caravans and for motorhomes, and the rise of the staycation once again. This is on trend and exactly the pastime that people are now looking to do. Now, we've been busier than ever, to be honest, certainly in the last 10 years or so. Geared up to have a huge start to this season, but of course we have no NEC this year in October like normal, so there is nowhere for customers to go and look at all these brands under one roof. Luckily enough for us and for our customers, Green Trees has the biggest selection of brands out there, with only Coachman as the only UK manufacturer, which we don't currently hold. So we're here today to give you a bit of a quick guide really as to what to look out for, what's new this year and what changes those manufacturers have made. You will hear this year time and time again, availability is the key. No dealer in the country is selling on price and discounts and show offers. We are selling on, would you like to get a caravan? And if you do, can we get it to you, the vehicle you want, in the time frame which you want it? So I'm now going to hand over to the guys, and the sales team are going to talk you through what's new in those individual brands. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for the intro, Mark, and g'day guys. Welcome to the world of Baileys. As you know, there's been a few changes in the Baileys products this year. Predominantly the main ones has been in the Phoenix Plus range and also the Bailey Pegasus Grande SE. SE stands for Special Edition. I'll go into them in a bit more detail, but just to give you a bit of a run through with what's happened, start with 2020. So as you know, the Discovery, the Unicorn and also the Alicante had the biggest changes in them. So this year Baileys decided to concentrate primarily on the Phoenix Plus and the Pegasus Grande, and what a difference this made to the product. It's always been one of the most successful selling ranges, and just as you can see from the outside, they've gone with the new dove grey finish externally, and also another new change on their product was the alloy wheels, and that's the same also for the Phoenix Plus as it is for the Pegasus Grande. So welcome to the new 2021 Bailey Pegasus Grande SE. SE stands for Special Edition. You probably noticed as we walked inside, on the outside you have got the new dove grey walls. Obviously it's a unique selling feature for Baileys in the fact that you're not paying upwards of close to £30,000 to get something that really sticks out in the crowd. The other thing you've got here is being 25% bigger, they're giving you the new G-shaped lounge, which gives you a lot more space. Whether you want to lounge as a couple or if you want to invite a few people in to play cards, there's a removable table obviously that you can bring in. This table over here slides across, again giving you more seating area if you want it, or you can just play cards just as a couple on this side. Moving above us with the overhead cupboard doors, you notice it's now gone with a light oak finish, and it's also curved, it's curved as well. Gives you a lot more storage room all the way through the van. Bringing your attention to the kitchen, two main changes in the kitchen area. One is the unique splashback, which features the Pegasus Grande SE logo on the side, and also with the new sink. This is one of the reasons why this has been the biggest seller for Baileys last year, and we're not anticipating it being any different this year. And that is the fact with the transverse bed, being the SE, 8 foot wide, gives you lots of room to walk around the bed. Even with this bed fully pulled out, you've got plenty of space to walk around it. We're expecting great things to come. And then obviously if we come back down into the ensuite area, again you'll see the reworkings, just making it a bit more spacious inside. So just to recap, we've got some exciting news coming through probably in February about an all new Pegasus model that will be released. And due to Luna withdrawing from the market, we've now got more room than ever to be able to display more Baileys than we had last year. So we look forward to welcoming you in and going through the product range and getting a caravan to suit your needs.
Hi, I'm James, and I'm just going to go through the differences on the Swift range for the new season. So the main differences on the Swift range is they've condensed the models, and they've also made things a little bit easier where there's no optional extras such as the dome pack, sunroof or lux pack. So on the Sprite and Super Sprite ranges, whereas last year you had to pay extra for the sunroof and the diamond pack, they're now included as standard. And on the Challenger and Challenger X, the Lux pack's now a standard rather than a cost optional extra. which just makes it look easier. So when you see the cost of the vehicle, that's the price you pay rather than having to add on extra options. They've also reduced the size of all the models. Last year they made 40 models, this year's 25, so it's a big reduction. Some of the main ones that have changed and have now discontinued. We've got the Major 6, now doesn't exist. So if you wanted a 6 berth in a Sprite, you have to go for the Major 6 TD. The Challenger 590 has also gone, so again there's no 6 berth in the Challenger range anymore, so again you'd have to go for the Major 6 TD if you wanted fixed bunk beds on a single axle in the Swift range. The Challenger 645 and the Eccles 645 has also both gone, but you can get this layout on the 8-foot wide version on the Elegance. The Challenger X865, the 8-foot wide with 2 single beds, has been discontinued. But they have also replaced them with some new models. So new model being the Super Sprite Major 4 SB. So it's an 8-foot wide transverse island bed with an end washroom. Always the most popular layout on the Sprite range, but now 8-foot wide, so a lot more room to get around the bed and get to the washroom. And on the base camp, obviously was released end of last year. So we've got the base camp 4, which is a 4 berth base camp. So the more popular crossover vehicle now has a 4 berth option as well. Here we are inside the Swift Challenger X880, which is the 8-foot wide transverse island bed model. With the new upholstery, they've gone for a more modern feel than last year. That's to try and combine the look of the Eccles, which is now gone, and the Challenger, so you kind of get the best of both worlds with this model, as well with the illuminated splashback, which now comes as standard rather than as part of the Luxe pack. It still has the Swift command system, which is controlled through your phone, so you can control the heating, the lights through your phone, and Duvet memory foam mattress, which you get on the whole Swift range. Swift have fully allocated all their builds now to the wholesale, so all the dealers have got what we've got. We can't order any more. So if there is a specific model you're looking for, you need to get hold of us fairly quickly if you're wanting one for this season, because at the moment all the builds are looking between March and June already. So if you're waiting until next year to order one, the likelihood is you're not going to be able to get one, unfortunately. So if there's a specific model you want, just give us a call and we'll get one on order for you.
Hi guys, it's Dan here from the sales team. I'm just going to talk to you today about what is in offer for 2021 from Eldis. So there are a few changes. There's a couple of models that have been introduced and a couple that are now discontinued. We'll start with the Explorers. They've not really changed the Explorers at all. All they've done with those is just refresh the decals on the outside and just done a slight refreshment inside in terms of the furnishings and things. On the Avantis, they're exactly the same as what they were for last year, so the same models, the same spec. Again, just a slight refreshment on the furnishings and the fabrics and things. Then you're into Affinity. Again, those are all identical to what they were for 2020. Just a slight change on the outside in terms of its look. Then you're into the Crusader. There's a change in the Crusader. So one of the changes they've made is they've now got rid of the Crusader Super Cyclone, which was the end bedroom with 2 fixed single beds. So that one's now gone. They now replaced it with the Crusader Borealis, which we've now got on display here at Green Trees. So similar to what a Buccaneer Barracuda is, just on a narrower van. So if you're not quite confident with towing an 8-foot wide Caravan but want a really luxury van with an end island bed, then the Borealis is probably for you. Then we're up into the Buccaneers. Again, they've dropped one of the layouts from Buccaneer. So they've got rid of the Buccaneer Clipper, which was similar to the Crusader Super Cyclone but 8-foot wide. So end single beds have now gone. And they've now replaced it with their Buccaneer Bermuda, which is an L-shaped lounge at the front with a transverse end island bed. There were 25 models in the range last year, and again there are 25 models in the range this year. So we'll just go inside this Buccaneer Cruiser that we've got here now, just to show you a few subtle changes that they've made on there. So if you'd like to follow me. Okay, so here we are inside the Cruiser for 2021. Due to the current situation that's going on in the country, then demand for these Caravans has shot through the roof, and unfortunately, which is not what we like to hear, but supply has unfortunately gone the other way. So
Some people are ordering these vans already. Availability for a lot of these vans is already anywhere from sort of April till June. So I'd really get in touch with us as soon as you possibly can to, you know, talk to us about a Buccaneer or any Eldis product really, if that's what you're considering for next year. Whilst we're in here, we'll just go over a few of the subtle changes that they've made in the Buccaneers. So you, first of all, whereas before they used to have some buttons down by the door here for the self-leveling system, they've now moved it to a nice touchscreen control panel, which is removable, so you can walk around the van or stand outside and, you know, jack that side up and put on your Alco wheel locks if you wanted to. The colour of the upholsteries have changed again ever so slightly. You've got this sort of copper feel inside here now. They've also put in a wireless phone charger at the front, just above this redesigned chest feature down here. The table pulls out a lot easier now also, so whereas before it would pop down from the back end, it now pops up from underneath. Just makes it a lot easier, rather than having to clear it all away every time you need to, you know, get the breakfast out or something like that. And a very small change they've made down the back end of the Caravan, with this particular one being an island bed. People used to often complain about the oldie rail going along the end of the bed here. They've now removed that, replaced it with an LED light, so it's just much easier to get around and you don't catch your ankles and things as you're, you know, trying to get into the washroom of the van. So that's just a few subtle changes that they've made with Buccaneers. With finance rates at an all-time low and part exchange prices at an all-time high, Buccaneer Caravans are quite achievable for a lot of customers now. Eldis don't want to make any more of these Caravans than what they do already. It's quite an exclusive brand. They still want to keep that kudos with this particular brand of Caravan, so they won't extend the build slots, but obviously they don't want to reduce what they can, you know, currently do too. So if it's a Buccaneer that you're considering for next year, then certainly get in touch with us. Some availability is already up until, you know, April till June. So thank you for your time today, and we hope to hear from you soon.